वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सूत्रार्थो वर्ण्यते यत्र
सूत्रार्थो वर्ण्यते यत्र
वाक्यैः सूत्रानुकारिभिः
वाक्यैः
सूत्रानुकारिभिः
स्वपदानि च वर्ण्यन्ते
स्वपदानि च वर्ण्यन्ते
भाष्यं भाष्यविदो विदुः।
भाष्यं
भाष्यविदो विदुः।
मुमुक्षोः कामत्यागः एव प्रधानं साधनम् इति।
मुमुक्षोः कामत्यागः एव प्रधानं साधनम् इति।
एतद् दर्शयति
एतद्दर्शयति
कामान्यः कामयते मन्यमानः
कामान्यः कामयते मन्यमानः
स कामभिर्जायते तत्र तत्र
स कामभिर्जायते तत्र तत्र
पर्याप्तकामस्य कृतात्मनस्तु
पर्याप्तकामस्य कृतात्मनस्तु
इहैव सर्वे प्रविलीयन्ति कामाः
इहैव सर्वे प्रविलीयन्ति कामाः
कामत्यागः एव मुमुक्षोः प्रधानं साधनम् संन्यास कामत्यागः meaning sannyasa, freedom from desires, whereas bhuti kamaha, vibhuti kamaha, preyorti, otherwise shreyorti, not shreyorti, artharti, kamarti. In contrast to them, here it is moksha kamaha. Previously we saw bhuti kamaha, vibhuti kamaha, artharti, kamarti. Sannyasa is not for them. They have to, because they have desires, therefore they have to fulfill their desires legitimately. Dharma abhiruddhaha kamaha agamasmi. So therefore, the desires which are there and Shastra sanctions, therefore those desires have to be fulfilled. So that is why in the Gita also Bhagavan says, Artha artharti jignasu jnani iti chaturvidha bhajante mam janaha sukruti norjuna. Artho jignasu artharti jnani cha bharatarshaba. So artha bhakti, artharti, artha bhakti, artharti and artha. They are bhuti kamaha. In contrast with them, here it is moksha kamaha, therefore mumukshoho. Their pradhana sadhanam is kamatyaga, sannyasa. Sannyasa meaning he has to grow out of the pressure, the pressure of the fulfillment of desires. So meaning the desires, from the desires, the person is grown out. Therefore mumukshu. He has got desires, but desire is for moksha, not for artha, not for kama. Even if it is there, it subserves moksha purushata. Therefore mumukshoho pradhanam sadhanam kamatyagaha, kamanam tyagaha kamatyagaha, kesham mumukshoho pradhanam sadhanam iti etat darshayati. दर्शयति कः का दर्शयति श्रुति श्रुति ही दर्शयति यः कामान् कामयते मन्यमानः यः कामान् कामयते मन्यमानः means the one who considers, the one who thinks, who reflects upon, who contemplates upon, dhyayato vishayan pumsaha, dhyanam vishaya dhyanam. So manyamanaha, yaha Kaman Manyamana. Therefore, Yaha here referring to Bhutikamaha. Yaha referring to Bhutikamaha, the one who desires. What does he desire? Kaman. Kamyate iti Kamaha. Therefore, Kaman. Here it is Karmani Utpatti and Karma also. So he desires Kaman, not one, many. Therefore, Bhagavachanam, Kaman. Objects of desires are many. One is fulfilled, it is replaced by another. So it is a continuous thing, the Kama. Kama never gets stopped. That's why Kama is compared to Analaha, fire. Alam na vidyate, doesn't say enough. And it continues and continues in the next Janma also. The desires which are not fulfilled in this Janma is carried over because the person gives up this body with those desires. Antakalecha. If it is Antakale, if he gives up desire, if he gives up the body, thinking of me, Bhagavan says, Smaran Mukta Kalevaram. That is different. Thinking of me, if the person gives up body, then he will not return. But this person who is a Bhutikamaha, he has many desires left unfulfilled, wants to fulfill, therefore, he gives up the body, and therefore he will take a Janma which will be conducive to accomplish and enjoy those objects. Therefore, Manyamanaha, thinking of desires, thinking of the objects of desire, thinking of the attributes of the objects of desires. The Manyamanaha here, Shanach. It is Shanach. Bandhatu Atmanepati, therefore Manyamanaha. It is Kartari Shanach, referring to the Karta. Yaha Manyamanaha. Shanach is used, Lataha Shatra Shanacho Apratama Samanadi Karane. Shatra Shanach, they are used as a replacement for Lataha. But another rule also, it is another sutra. First, Apratama Samanadikarana, it is there, not in the first case. But another sutra is there, Lakshana Hetoho Kriyayaha. Lakshana Hetoho Kriyayaha. Lakshana and Etu. When Kriyayaha, of the Kriya, of the action, when the attributes of the action or the cause of the action is there, then it can be used in Pratama Vibhakti. In fact, Lakshana Hetvoho Kriyayaha, that becomes the basis for the Vaiyakarna to use the Shatra Shanach in Pratama Vibhakti. So, Lakshana Hetvoho, for example, if you say, the stock example given, Yavanaha Shayanaha Bunjate Yavanaha. The Yavanas, they eat. Lying down, they eat. So the action is Bunjate, they consume, they eat. Shayanaha, lying down. So the action, how it is, the attributes of the action, the lakshana of the action, the characteristic of the action is what specified by the word Shayanaha, lying down, characteristic of the action. Similarly, Pashyan Harim, Pashyan, Muktaha Bhavati, Harim Pashyan meaning Hari, the Lord, seeing the Lord, Harim Pashyan, Muktaha Bhavati, he gets freedom. That is the cause of the mukti, the cause of freedom. The cause of freedom is Hari Darshanam, Ishvara Darshanam. So the hetu for the mukti, for moksha is the vision of the Hari, is the vision of the Lord. So there it is used in the sense of hetu. So therefore, lakshana etoho kriyayaha. By that, you can use Shatrashanach in Pratama Vibhakti. Here, Manyamanaha, it is in Pratama Vibhakti. Manyamanaha, the word which is in Pratama Vibhakti. Therefore, it means you have to take the word to be meaning the attributes of the objects of desire. The attributes of the objects of the desire. He thinks the objects have such qualities, therefore he desires. So, therefore, the objects, the kamaha, kama vishayaha, the objects are there. He superimposes the objects to be having those qualities, and therefore he has desire for the object. So that is manyamanaha. So it is not just simply considering, thinking of the objects he desires. Manyamanaha. Yes, some adhyasa. It's called Shobana adhyasa, in fact. Shobana adhyasa. So that manyamanaha, that is the importance of the word manyamanaha. The lakshana hetvoho kriyayaha. This is not Sanskrit class, but still I show you. You can see lakshana hetvoho kriyayaha. Shayanaha bunjate yavanaha. Yavanaha bunjate, they eat. Lying down, they eat. So the action is characterized by the sleeping action. Similarly, here also, manyamanaha. Manyamanaha, kaman, kamayate. Kaman, kamayate, manyamanaha. So, lakshana. You can take it as hetu also, like harim pashyan muchyate. He becomes free, muktaha bhavati. What is the cause? Harim pashyati. Harim pashyan, seeing the Lord. So, is the cause of his mukti. Freedom is the vision of the Lord. That is Jnanam or Hari. Jnanam, Harim Pashyan. He sees the Lord and becomes free. So the Lord which is gets a knowledge of who the Hari is. Hari Jnanam Prapnuvan Muchyate. Hari, who is Hari? The Lord. By seeing Hari. By seeing Hari is that Hari is a Hetu. He is Muktaha, is Muchyate, Samsarat Muktaha Bhavati, Pashyan, seeing. Seeing Hari. So Hari, the Lord, becomes the cause, the Hetu for moksha. The truth of the Hari, the knowledge, Jnanam, that is the Hetu. Pashyan. Pashyan is seeing, not physically seeing. The Shishtadvaita and other, they will say physical seeing, but we say it is Jnanam, the truth of the Hari, understanding the truth, the nature of Hari, to be not different from oneself. Pashyan, that is the Pashyan, that is a seeing, that is a vision. So that is a hetu, that is a cause. Jnanam is a cause. Jnanat uchyate. So here it is in the hetu. So that's Latin, this Shatrashanach can be used in that sense. Lakshan hetoho. The same thing here also. Manyamanaha. Just we cannot just translate Manyamanaha to be mandatu, considering, and just skip the word and move it. Manyamanaha has got this meaning. Lakshana hetvoho kriyayaha, therefore manyamanaha. So it can be taken as lakshana of the kriya kamayate, or it can be taken as a hetu also. Hetu, the cause for the kama, the desires is manyamanaha. Hetu for kamayate. Yata in the drishtanta muchyate, harim pashyan muchyate. Here kaman manyamanaha kamayate. So he desires. What is the hetu? Because manyamanaha dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. He does Vishayadhyanam, therefore Kamayate. Vishayadhyanam he does, that is a hetu, because of which there is Kama. Because the first step is Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha, Sangasteshu Pajayate, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha, Kamat Krodha Bijayate. So, first step is Vishayadhyanam. And you can see it is all in Panchami Vibhakti in that shloka, Gita. Jayato Vishayan Pumsa. Panchami. Panchami is hetu. Kamat Krodha Bijayate. Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha. Sammohat Smriti Vibhravaha. Smriti Vibhramishat. So, all Panchami. Panchami is used in hetu. We know. Tritiyar Panchami. Heto Panchami. So, hetu. So we can take Manyamanaha to be the Lakshana or can be the Hetu for desiring Kamayate. So therefore, Kaman Manyamanaha Yaha Kaman Manyamanaha Kamayate. So therefore, Kriyayaha Lakshanam Atava Kriyaram Yetuhu. Kriyayaha Yetuhu. Bhavati Manyamanaha San Kamayate. Then Saha, that person, Jayate Putra Tatta Tatra. Yatra yatra kamaha vartante, tatra tatra jayante. Yatra tatra tatra is in whichever loka. 14 lokas are there. So depending on what desires he has, he entertained before giving up the body, that he is born again. Jayate punaha punarjanma bhavati. Kamabihi comes along with the samskara. Swarga icha is a Swargaloka icha. Therefore he goes Swargaloka. Ushitva Shashwatim Samaha, that he lives Shashwati for a long time. How long? Kshine Punya Matya Lokam Vishanti. Once Punya is exhausted, becomes a pauper, again he comes back and then starts working again, gets earning Punyam and Papam. But the desires, it doesn't go because Bhutika Maha is get caught in the whirlpool of the samsara because of the desires. So therefore Kamabihi is equal to Kamaiki Chandasam. So he is born. Tatra Tatra. Yatra Yatra Kama Vishayaha Kamaha Vartante Tatra. So he gets an Upadhi, special Upadhi, if it is required. The Upadhi in keeping with the experience of the objects of desire. As a human being, we also have limitation with regard to fulfilling certain desires. So therefore, if desires are there, appropriate upadhi is assumed, upadhi is taken in that janma. So therefore, where the desires, the objects of desires are there, in that loka, in that field of experience, it's called field of experience, lokaha, lokyate anubhuyate. That's why it's called lokaha. Tatra, and 14 lokas are there. So he takes janma there. So Ajnana Jiva takes janma in that place which is conducive for him to pursue the desires, unfulfilled desires, and it remains ever unfulfilled because desire gets multiplied. So therefore it's a cycle. Kama bhiki jayate tatra tatra. In contrast to that, paryapta kamaha, second line, vitireka, in contrast to that, there is one person who is paryapta kamaha, shotriyasya chakamagatasya, is akamahataha, shotriyasya, paryapta kamaha, is apta kamaha, aptaha kamaha. All desires are aptaha, praptaha, gained, achieved. Paritaha, paritaha samantat. So there is nothing to be accomplished. All desires he has gained, he has attained. How is it possible? There are so many objects are there, artha, and therefore, with regard to each artha, desires, suppose if it is there, then innumerable. Then how is it possible to fulfill all the desires? Desires are unlimited. It is similar to the knowledge. Kasminna Bhagava Vijñāte Sarvamidam Vijñātam Bhavati, Shaunaka asked. Similarly, fulfilling which all desires are fulfilled. What is that? That is also implied in that question. In fact, Shaunaka asked that. Kasminna Bhagava Vijñāte Sarvamidam Vijñātam Bhavati, knowing which everything is known. It means there is no more hunting for the knowledge also. Knowledge also is a desire. Knowledge for knowledge of the given subject matter, knowledge of physics, knowledge of chemistry, or knowledge of any study. A desire is that to know. That is also a desire. But every field of study is so vast. There's no limit to it. Therefore, question is asked. Knowing which everything is known. Similarly, gaining which everything is gained. So you can extend the same thing. Gaining which everything is gained. Gaining that, all the desires are fulfilled. Krita Krityaha Bhavati. He becomes Krishna Karma Krita. He becomes Krishna Karma Krita. He has done what is to be done. There's nothing else to be done. He becomes Purnaha, Paryaptakamaha. That is what Paryaptakamaha, Aptaha. Here called Aptakamaha. Paryaptakamaha is Aptakamaha, Aptaha Kamaha. All the objects of desires are gained. How is it possible? Gaining not physically. Physically cannot gain. That is in terms of knowledge, in terms of knowing the Swarupa of oneself, in terms of knowledge, it is Atmajnanena. Praptaha bhavati. Atmajnanena is Apta. Atmajnanena Aptaha bhavati. Atmajnanam is, it is Atmakamaha. Being Atmakamaha, it becomes Aptakamaha. Anatmakamaha cannot become Aptakamaha. If he is Anatma Kamaha, if he is after Anatma are infinite. So he cannot become Apta Kamaha. Atma Kamaha only becomes Apta Kamaha, not to Anatma Kamaha. And here Apta Kamaha, therefore he must be Atma Kamaha. Being Apta Kamaha, it must be Atma Kamaha. So therefore, gaining the knowledge of Atma, he gains everything. There is nothing to be gained because everything is Atma. Sarvam Kalu Idam Brahma Eva. Nothing is away from the Lord. Therefore, he has gained the Lord himself. When Bhagavan appears before you, what do we ask? In fact, we should nothing to ask. If he himself has appeared, other than Bhagavan, what is required? Gaining him, everything is gained. There is nothing to be gained. He has discovered everything to be himself. Therefore, all the objects of desire it is as though fulfilled. Therefore, Paryaptakamaha iti. No desires left out. Only when there is a second thing, then only there will be desires. There is nothing second to him. Everything is myself. Mayeva sakalam jatam, mayi sarvam pratishtitam. Everything is sustained in me. Therefore, what kama you would have? No kama. Is akamaha. Shotriyasya chakamahatasya. That ananda is ever revels in that ananda, atmananda. No more Vishayananda. Vishayananda can never be fulfilled. Atmananda, it is ever fulfilled. It is discovering the fact that I am ever Purnaha. So therefore, Paryaptaka Mahabhavati. Atmaka Maha eva Paryaptaka Mahabhavati. Iti. Paryaptakamasi Kritatmanastu. Kritaha Atma Antakaranam. The Antakaranam is refined, made, conducive to receive the knowledge, to discover the knowledge of oneself. That is Kritatmanaha. When the Kridanta word is there as a Purvapada, we can assume that must be Bahuri Samasa. When the Kridanta, Sakshat Kritaranda, Sakshat Kritaha Atma Yena Saha Sakshatkritah. Swami, name of the Acharya. Sakshatkritah Nanda. Sakshatkritah Atma is Sakshatkritah. Sakshatkritah Atma Yena Saha is called Sakshat Kritatma. Sakshat Kritatma Cha Aso Anandaha is Ananda. Sakshat Kritananda. Similarly, Viditatmananda. Viditaha Atma Yena Saha Viditatma. Viditatman Viditatma. Bhagavati. Viditatma Cha Aso Anandaha Viditatmanandaha. So Kridanta. Krit is that is the Pura Padam. You can take that to be Bhagavati. Kritaha here. Kritatma. Krita Pratyaya. So Kritaha. Atma, Yena Saha. Similarly, Paryaptakamaha also. Paryapta also. That there also Paripurvaka. Pari is Upasarga. Apdatu. Pancham, fifth gana. Taprate. Aptaha. Praptaha. So Aptaha. Aptaha Kamaha. Or Aptaha Kamaha. Aptaha Kamaha. Aptaha Kamaha. You can take that also. All kamas are accomplished by him. Aptaha Kamaha Yasya Saha Aryena Saha. Iti. One who has attained all the objects of the desire. All the objects of desire means that gaining which everything is gained. Fulfilling one desire, all the desires are fulfilled. What is the desire? That mumukshu, that mukti micha, that is a desire, and the desire is fulfilled. That is jnanam is gained, gaining which everything is fulfilled. Nothing else remains to be fulfilled. That is why it becomes Krishna karma kritu. And he is kritatmanaha. Kritaha atma. Atma is your antakaranam. He has well prepared antakaranam. The Jivatma seems to be away from Paramatma because of Ajnanam. Ajnanam strength is Agankara. Now this Agankara is well polished, it is refined. The Agankara, all the sharp edges are well chiseled. Now this Agankara is no more a binding Agankara. The Agankara, he understands this Agankara, this to be Mithya. So it no more binds it. Kritaha Atma Antakaranam. So therefore, Atma Antakaranam is well refined. Now it is well prepared. It's made ready to understand, to discover the nature of oneself. That is Jivatma to be not different from Paramatma. So therefore, Agam Purnaha iti Kritaha is done. The knowledge is well established in that Antakaranam, which is well prepared. So Kritatma. Kritatmanaha, Paryaptakamaha Kritatmanaha. Iha eva, here itself, while living itself. Asmin Sharire, eva, while living. Jivan Mukti. While living is Sadhya Mukti, Jivan Mukti. While living itself, Sarve Kamaha Previlianti. All the desires, they resolve in him. Sarve Kamaha Previlianti. Now, no more desires left unfulfilled because is Atma Kamaha, Apta Kamaha. Therefore, all the kamas, all the desires, they resolve in him. Therefore, desires now no more cannot have any influence on the person. All the desires are fulfilled. So what desires are left out? Nothing is left out. Therefore, no samsara. Desire is the cause of samsara. So even a small desire, even the desire to taste the sugar, if it is there, a person has to take janma, another janma. So therefore, he is left with no desires. All the desires results in the understanding of the Atma Tattvam. Iti. Then the Bhashya I think we read 4 or 5 lines. We will read. Kaman yaha
कामान्यः
कामान्यः
दृष्ट अदृष्ट इष्ट विषयान्
दृष्ट अदृष्ट इष्ट विषयान्
इष्टविषयान्
दृष्टादृष्टेष्ट विषयान्
दृष्टादृष्टेष्ट
दृष्टादृष्टेष्टविषयान्
विषयान्
should read like that only. Kamayate
कामयते
कामयते
मन्यमानः
मन्यमानः
मानः
तद्गुणान् चिन्तयानः
तद्गुणान् चिन्तयानः
चिन्तयानः
चिन्तयमानः should be चिन्तयानः we can take to be arsha prayoga. Acharya writes therefore it is chintadatu, so therefore it is chintayamanah. It is shanaj chintayamanah, but chintayanah Acharya can write arsha prayoga we can take. प्रार्थयते
प्रार्थयते
सह तैः कामभिः कामैः
सह तैः कामभिः कामैः
धर्माधर्म प्रवृत्ति हेतुभिः
धर्म प्रवृत्ति
धर्माधर्मप्रवृत्तिहेतुभिः
विषेच्छारूपैः
विषयेच्छारूपैः
विषयेच्छारूपैः
सह जायते तत्र तत्र
सह जायते तत्र तत्र
the kaman is qualified by the word drishta adrishta ishta vishaya ishta pravrittihi anishta vishayeshu nivrittihi. That is also a kama only. Even nivritti also anishta vishayeshu nivrittihi. Withdrawal from the vishaya which are not ishta, that is dvesha. That is also a kama only. Raga is kama, dvesha is also kama. Raga dvesha nothing but kama only. Raga for ishta vishaya, dvesha for anishta vishaya. So raga dvesha. Therefore ishta vishayan, ishta anishta, and they are drishta adrishta also, seen unseen. How can be unseen? Yes, Svargaloka unseen, not seen, but desire is there. Shastram says, therefore, the person also, after Maranam, he wants to enjoy. The pressure of desires is so much, not fulfilled with the objects of this world. So he wants to continue to enjoy the pleasures which are more far superior. Therefore, adrishta vishayeshu api, other lokas are there, and we have pramanam also. Every loka there is a taratamya, is the gradation of happiness is there. These are the mimamsa, brahmananda mimamsa. Therefore, enjoying that particular upadi, and therefore the vishayas, the objects, enjoying upadi and that sense organs, with that he can enjoy those sense objects, and they are lasting also, and no old age. The same upadi is intact, and also the time is longer. Therefore adrishta, all those are desires only. So manyamanaha, thinking tadgunan chintayamanaha, chintayanaha, chintayamanaha, tadgunan vishay gunan. Objects are desired not for the sake of the objects, because it has certain attributes, therefore it is desired. In fact, an object is nothing but it is attributes, visheshanas, properties are there. Shabdasparsha rupa rasa guna. Shabdasparsha rupa rasa gandha, sorry, not guna. Shabdasparsha rupa rasa gandha, the 5 attributes are there in every object, and these 5 are sensed by 5 sense organs. Therefore the objects becomes lovable. The objects are loved because the sense organs can sense and gets fulfilled. The objects fulfill the sense organs, therefore the objects are loved. When the objects do not fulfill the sense organ, even if it is displeasing to one sense organ, then it is not loved. Therefore, the attributes of the objects, it is what makes an object lovable. Therefore, tadgunan. That's why he said lakshana, kriyayaha, lakshana, lakshana etoho kriyayaha, Tad gunan, the attributes of the objects. Bhashyakara says, Chintayamanaha. An object, Chintayamanaha, he meditates, he thinks of the attributes of the object. Minus that object also doesn't exist. So object is mithya. Object is nothing but the visheshana, the attributes. Therefore, chintayamanaha, prarthayate is after prarthayate. That prarthayate is purushartha. Prarthayate, purushehi artyate, prarthayate iti purushartha, artha purushartha, kama purushartha. Here kama, therefore kama purushartha, purushehi prarthayate, artyate, prarthayate, purushehi. So kama purushartha is after objects of desires. Saha, that person, kama bihi chandasam, kamaihi, and kama is a yetu for pravritti, for action. Dharma, adharma, punya papa. Dharma, dharma pravritti, dharma, dharmika, karma, adharma pravritti, adharmika karma. So dharma, pravritti hetu bihi, the cause for engaging in righteous action and unrighteous action is kama. The kama is overpowering, even if it is legitimate, illegitimate, the person wants to fulfill. Therefore, kama is a yetu. Kama is a yetu for even for the adharmika karma. We do a lot of adharmika karma because propelled by this kama, the desire for the fulfillment of the objects. That is why we do every year upakarma. Kamokarshit japam. Kamokarshit namo, kamokarshit manjurakarshit namo namaha. Kamaha akarshit. Kama is there, therefore manihu. Krodha also it is there. Both go together. Kamaha akarshit. Manyuhu akarshit. Akarshit lung lakara. Kamo karshit manjurakarshit namo namaha. 108 times should be chanted during upakarma. Kamo karshit kamak karoti nakam karoti kamak karta nakam karta kamak karagita nakam karagita yeshate kama kama yaswaha. Similarly, Manyuhu akarshi namo namaha. Manyur karshi manyuk karoti nakam karomi manyuk karta nakam karta manyuk karagita nakam karagita yeshate manyo manyave swaha. To Manyu, the Manyu is Krodha, and Kama, Japa is done. So therefore, Kama is the pravritti hetu for dharma, karma, dharma, adharma, action. And that is in the form of icha for desires. Vishayecha rupehi. Vishayanam icha vishayecha. Vishayecha rupani. Tani yeshante. That is that. Taihi. Vishayarupaihi. Vishyanam icha Shashti Tatpurusha. And referring to Kama, therefore Bhuri Samasa it is. Sakajayate, along with Vishaya Icha is born. Putra Tatra in that place, respective place, is born. Is Tatra Yatra Vishayaha Vartati Tatra. Vishayeshu Madhye Jayate iti. Now the next line. Yatra
Yatra yatra
Vishay Prapti Nimittam Kamaha.
Vishaya-prapti-nimittam kamaha
Karmasu Purusham Niyojayanti.
Karmasu purusham niyojayanti.
Tatra
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 Teshu Vishayeshu.
teshu
Teshu
vishayeshu
Taihi eva Kamaihi.
तैः
तैः
एव
एव
कामैः
कामैः
वेष्टितः जायते
वेष्टितः
वेष्टतः
जायते
जायते
वेष्टितः प्रवेष्टितः वेष्टितः वेष्टि surrounded by, that way dhoti is also called veshti, surrounds the body. Veshtitah jayate, surrounded by kamaha is born, where yatra yatra vishaya prapti nimittam kamaha, yatra yatra is adhikarana saptami, or we can take as vishaya saptami also. Yatra yatra saptam yarte tral pratyaya, tadita pratyaya, tral avyaya is tadita here, tral pratyaya is avyaya. There are some tadita pratyayas by which we get avyaya, like krut pratyaya, similarly tadita pratyayas also. Taditascha asarva vibhaktihi avyayam, swaradi nipatam avyayam. Taditascha asarva vibhaktihi, not all vibhakti, in a particular vibhakti artha you get. So yatra is equal to yasmin nityartha. Yatra is equal to yasmin. That is saptami arthe. In the sense of saptami vibhakti. Saptami could be vishaya saptami or adhikarana saptami. So here you can take it vishaya saptami or you can take adhikarana. Adhikarana in whichever field, situations, wherever, yatra yatra, or vishaya, objects. Vishaya prapti nimittam kamaha vartante. Yatra, adhikarana. So, where vishaya prapti nimittam, vishayanam prapti, vishaya praptehe nimittam. The nimittam, the purpose, the purpose of the gaining of the vishayas are there. Kamaha yatra vartante. There, karmasu purusham niyojayanti. With regard to the karma, the purusha is niyojayanti. The purusha is niyojayanti is the purusha is a prompted, motivated karmasu, prompted into action. Purusham niyojayanti drives a person into action. Where vishaya prapti nimittam kamaha vartante. So where the desires of objects, the objects of desires are available, the field of experience, the particular field of experience is available, objects are available. Tatra tatra teshu visheshu, there teshu visheshu madhye taihi eva kamaihi veshtitaha jayate, surrounded by kama. Here kamaihi is objects of desires is born. Therefore only is propelled to action. Karmasu purusham niyojayanti. Having born in a place, he is propelled to act, surrounded by the objects of desires. So, the desires prompt. Kamaha niyojayanti. Vishaya prapti nimittam kamaha niyojayanti. Where karmasu? Whom? Purusham. So, kamaha is a karta. Kamaha niyojayanti. Kam niyojayanti? Purusham niyojayanti. Towards what? Karmasu. Yatra yatra, wherever the objects of desires are available, the vishayas are available, with regard to the vishayas, yatra yatra vartante, the objects of desires, there this kama propels the person, drives the person, motivates the person into karma, the action. Tatra tatra, there, surrounded by the objects, the person is born. Surrounded by the objects of desires. Veshtitaga son, jayate, is born. So he is born, therefore he will engage in action, and action will bring its karma pala, and karma pala in the form of papa punya that he experiences and continues to experiences, therefore cycle continues. It is samsara chakra continues, perpetuates the samsara cycle. If that is to be snapped, only one way, only by jnanam. But this person is not moksha kamaha, is artha kamaha, is bhuti kamaha. Therefore, he revels in samsara. He revels in samsara. That's why ignorance is bliss. Now, in contrast to that, what about the status, the condition of a jnani? That is said in the next line. We'll read. Yes, to
Yes,
Yes,
to
to
paramartha tattva vijnanat
Paramartha-tattva-vijnanaat
Vijnanaat
paryapta kamaha
Paryapta-kamah
Kamaha
atmakamattvena
Atmakamattvena
pari samantataha.
Parisamantataha
Samantataha
Pari is equal to samantataha, all around. Aptaha kamaha
Aptaha
Aptaha
kamaha
Kamaha
yasya tasya paryapta kamasya.
Yasya tasya
Yatasya
paryapta-kamasya
Paryapta
Bhashyakara himself gives aptaha kamaha yasya saha paryapta kamaha paryapta kamasya. So, for a jnani, yaha is paryapta kamaha. He becomes paryapta kamaha. All the desires are aptaha, therefore pari samantat, completely. All the desires are accomplished by this person, paryapta kamaha. How is it possible? That is, the cause of fulfillment of all the desires is knowledge, vijnana. Knowledge of what? Tattva vijnana. Paramata tattva vijnana. Paramascha asavartaha paramartaha. Paramartaha eva tattvam, paramata tattvam. Paramata tattvasya vijnanam, paramarta tattva vijnanam, tasmat. That is the hetu. Because of the knowledge of the tattva, the reality of the paramarta, moksha, the truth of oneself, the truth, the tattvam. Therefore, all desires are gained. All desires are fulfilled. Knowing Atma, everything is accomplished. Desiring Atma, everything is desiring Atma, accomplishing Atma, here accomplishment within quote, not real accomplishment, it is Siddha Vishaya. Therefore, everything is gained. Therefore, Paryapta Kamaha Bhavati, Tattva Vijnanat. Paramata Tattva Vijnanat, Paryapta Kamaha Bhavati. Atma Kamatvena, therefore, Apta Kamaha Eva, Atma Kamaha Eva, Apta Kamaha Bhavati. Atma Kamatvena, Apta Kamaha. Atma is the object of desire for whom is Apta Kamaha. That Apta Kamaha alone will become Apta Kamaha. Because everything is Atma. Therefore, he alone becomes Paryapta Kamaha. Therefore, Apta Kamatvena. Atma Kamatvena is Atma Eva Kamaha Yasya Saha. He desires only Atma. Nothing else. Because everything is Atma. Therefore, Atma alone is desired. In fact, he is more greedy. At least Artharthi Kamarthi, they desire particular object. But this Atma Kamaha, he desires Atma. Atma is everything. Therefore, he desires everything. That is why, in fact, it is not a Icha. It is the greatest Icha. That's why we call Mumukshu, in fact. Muktim Icha is not an ordinary Icha. I don't desire small things, petty things. I desire the totality. So that consumes even that consumes the small petty desires. These desires are not counted. Everything is consumed. One gulp, everything is swallowed. Apta Kamaha, Apta Kamatvena. Therefore, Atma is alone is the object of desire for whom that person is Atma Kamaha, Atma Kamatvena, by the one who is Apta Kamaha. who is Atma Kamaha Mumukshu. That person, Atma Kamatvena, who is Atma Kamaha, Bhashyakara gives Pari, is equal to Samantataha, completely, totally. Aptaha Kamaha Yasya Tasya Paryapta Kamasya, Atma Kamatvena becomes Paryapta Kamaha. Atma Kamaha is not in the mantra. He becomes Paryapta Kamaha because of Atma Kamaha. So, he is Apta Kama, and the Hetu for Apta Kama is, cause for Apta Kama is Atma Kamaha. That is why Tat Paramata Tattva Vijnanat, Tattva Vijnanam, Atma is the object of desire, and Atma is not something to be gained. It is already Siddha Vishaya, therefore Vijnanam, knowledge. So Oshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha. He attains all the desires at once. So therefore becomes Paryapta Kamaha iti. The next line. Kritat Manaha
Tatmanaha
Avidya Lakshanat
Avidya
Lakshanat
Apara Rupat Apaniya
Apararupat
Apaniya
Apara Rupat Apaniya
Apararupadapanija
Svena Parena Rupena
Svena Parena Rupena
Kritaha Atma Vidyaya
Kritaha Atma Vidyaya
Yasya Tasya Kritat Manaha Tu.
Yasya Tasya Kritatmanah Tu.
Tu is Vailakshanyartha, to show the contrast. Whereas, because the first line is Bhutikamaha, second line Aptakamaha. Therefore, tu. Kritat Manaha. Kritaha Atma. Yena Saha. Kritatma. That is for the person who has made the Atma, the Antakaranam, establish Atma in Antakaranam. How to establish Atma in Antakaranam? That establishment only in terms of the knowledge. Atma is all pervading, is oneself. Because of this Abhimana with the Sharira Manasangata, Karya Sangata, therefore this Antakaranam, the Ahankara, takes himself to be a Karta Bhokta, therefore Samsari. Now this Ahankara has to be enlightened. Atma doesn't require moksha. Atma is ever free. Then what is moksha? Moksha for whom? Moksha is only for the ego. Ahankara. Ahankara has to know that it is not really real. Ahankara, that's why enlightened ego. Ahankara has to be enlightened. Ahankara has to be made to know the fact. Therefore, Antakaranam. Therefore, Antakaranam. Where this Ahankara is. Ahankara is nothing but the mind, the undefined, the mind which entertains this thoughts, which does the superimposition of Atma and Anatma, this Atma Anatma, the mixing, this Paraspara Adhyasa, Anatma is superimposed on Atma, Atma is superimposed on Atma, as in Brahma Sutra Bhashyakara says, Vishma Dasmat Pratyaya, Vishya Vishayinoho, they are, because of the Adhyasa, there is Paraspara, there is a mixture, therefore, Anatma, because of association with Atma, it as though it is true. Similarly, Atma, because of association with Anatma, as though it is Anityaha, it's subject to time, all these notions. Notions are there for whom? For this Ahankara, for this Jiva. Jiva is Ahankaraha. So that is because of Avidya. Therefore, Avidya Lakshanat. Because of Avidya, ignorance with regard to one's Swarupa, and ignorance in the form of aham karta bhokta. Kartritvam bhoktritvam is ajnana. Therefore, avidya lakshanat apara rupa apaniya. Avidya lakshanat apara rupat apaniya. Apaniya ni dhatu. Apaniya lebanta it is. Apaniya apapurvaka niya. Rupat apaniya. Rupa is apara rupat. The rupa which is apara, not para. Apara is it is it is it is the apara, not para. Opposite to para. Para is paravidya, akshara vidya, apara vidya, lower, inferior. Apara rupat, anatma rupa, anatma. So avidya lakshanat, apara rupat, apaniya, having apapurvaka ni and lep pratyaya, apaniya, having pulled out, having extracted what? This atma from its apara rupa. The apara rupa is because of avidya. Because of avidya, because of ignorance, the jivatma takes himself to be karta bhokta samsari. Therefore, that is apara rupa. From that, the jivatma has to be separated, extracted. How? Svena parena kritaha. Extracted only by knowledge. Therefore, avidya lakshanat, it has to be extracted out means it is only by jnana. Therefore, svena by oneself, parena rupena kritaha. Parena rupena, that atma, which is the jivatma, who thinks himself to be a karta bhokta samsari, that is avidya lakshana, and because of apara rupa, because of that he has gained the status of jivatvam. From the jivatvam is mithya. Jiva is with atma. Jivatvam, I am small, insignificant, inadequate. That is jivatvam. From that, it is brought out, extracted, jivatma is pulled out, separated cognitively, not physically. And svena aparena rupena. Sorry, svena parena rupena kritaha. It is made parena rupena from the lower aspect to the higher aspect. That is, it is not that two, lower aspect, higher aspect. Jivatma, under the influence of this ajnanam, that avidya, he becomes a samsari jiva. Now he is pulled out. He is pulled out. He becomes within quote also. He becomes asamsari. Jivatma is always asamsari. Therefore, svena parena rupena is made, is established in its pararupa, its original form, original rupam, atma rupam, in its original rupam. Parena is inferior, it's superior. Apara is inferior, para is superior. Superior is, that is the nature, that is the true nature of this being the jiva. So, svena parena rupena kritaha. It is established in its higher nature. Higher nature is, what is higher nature? Aham atma, that is a swarupa. So, established in its swarupa. From ajnana avastha to jnana avastha, it is pulled out. A jiva is pulled out. A jiva is extracted. A jiva is separated from ajnana avastha, that is apara rupa, to pararupa, jnana avastha, swarupa avastha, swarupam. Kritaha, atma, antakarnam. How? By vidyaya. Yasya tasya kritatmanaha, that is the person for whom the atma is established in this jnanam, in this nishtha. That person is kritatmanaha. Kritatmanaha is one who has established, who has placed atma in this knowledge, highest knowledge. Place gives into all these words. You cannot literally place. It is understanding. Highest knowledge. That is Swarupa Jnanam. The meaning is from Ajnana Avastha From Ajnana Avastha, this Jiva is pulled out and made him realize his Swarupa, his nature. That is Jnana Avastha. So that is done by whom? That person is called Kritat Manaha. So Atma, which was before because of the Adhyasa, because of Adhyasa, which is because of Avidya, takes himself to be a samsari jiva. Now that jiva is made to realize its Swarupa. So that is done by whom? That person is Kritat Manaha. Iti. Then the next line. Ihaiva tishtati.
इहैव तिष्ठति
इहैव तिष्ठति
Ihaiva tishtati eva.
इहैव
इहैव
तिष्ठति
तिष्ठति
एव
एव
Sharire.
शरीरे
शरीरे
सर्वे धर्माधर्म प्रवृत्ति हेतवः.
सर्वे
धर्म
धर्माधर्म
कर्म
प्रवृत्ति
प्रवृत्ति
हेतवः
हेतवः
प्रविलीयन्ति विलयम् उपयान्ति.
प्रविलीयन्ति
प्रविलीयन्ति
विलयम् उपयान्ति
नश्यन्ति इत्यर्थः.
नश्यन्ति
नश्यन्ति
इत्यर्थः
इत्यर्थः
कामाः तज्जन्म हेतु विनाशात्.
कामाः तज्जन्म हेतु विनाशात्
हेतु विनाशात्
न जायन्ते इत्यभिप्रायः.
न
न
जायन्ते
जायन्ते इत्यभिप्रायः
इत्यभिप्रायः
इहैव सर्वे प्रविलीयन्ति कामाः. That line is explained. Therefore, iha eva here itself. Tishtati. Ihaiva here itself. Sharire tishtati. Sharire tishtati is the sharira is alive. Should be sentient. It means the person is alive. Not mrita sharira. Sharira is very much enjoying life. So while living means while living, Jivan eva ityartaha. Because sharira is active, sentient. Tishtati, na mriyate. Tishtati. Sarve dharma pravritti hetavaha. Sarve pravilyanti. What sarve? Sarve kamaha. Kamaha is dharma pravritti hetu. Kama is the sarve kamaha, and kama is qualified by the word. Sarve pravilyanti is there in this mantram also. That sarve means kama, all the kamaha, desires. And they are the hetu for pravritti into dharma, adharma. Dharma, righteous karma, adharma, unrighteous action. So which are the pravritti? Kama is a pravritti hetu. So all these previlyanti, vilayam upayanti, resolves, attain resolution, vilayam, layam prapnuvanti. All these are viliyanti, previlyanti, nashyanti ityartaha. They get destroyed. They get destroyed. Adarshanam prapnuvanti. They get destroyed. Because there is no more pravritti hetu. Dharma pravritti hetu. Kama is resolved. Resolved means it is not there, gone forever. Why? Because is atma kamaha. So atma kama, the desire for kama consumes the desires for the ishta, drishta, adrishta, ishta, vishayaha, the kamaha. It consumes everything. Therefore, dharma pravritti hetu, that kama not there. If at all, if he does karma, that karma will be the karma. Any karma is preceded by kama. That karma, and therefore the kama will be non-binding. That is why it's called freedom in action. He does karma not out of the pressure of raga dvesha. Being free, he does karma. Being free, does karma at the same time is not karta. That is why karmanya karmayah pashyet. Akarmani cha karmayaha. He is buddhiman manusheshu. And he is krishna karmakrit. He is krishna karmakrit. That is why he is apta kamaha. He has done what is to be done. There is nothing more to be done. Therefore, nothing more to be done. Therefore, why is nothing more to be done by this person? Because sarve kamaha previlianti resolves into this person. Layam yanti. They are resolved in this jnanam. Resolve in this jnanam. Therefore, jnanam consumes. Jnanam is knowledge is like a fire which burns out all the desires. Nagi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iva vidyate. So jnanagni dagda karmanam tamahu panditam buddhaha. The jnanagni consumes everything. Therefore, priviliyanti sarve kamaha nashyanti adarshanam prapnuvanti iti. Kamaha tajjanma hetu vinashat. Kama, the desires, and tajjanma hetu, the cause for that. What is the cause of this kama? Ajnanam. Ajnanam, because of ajnanam there is adhyasa, because of adhyasa there is kama, because of kama there is karma, therefore karma pala, punya papa, janma marana. This is the karma, the sequence by which jiva is put into a samsara. Now, the janma hetu, ajnanam, that itself is removed, vinashat. Therefore, janma hetu vinashat. Tajjanma, kasya janma, kamanam janma, kamasya janma, and that the hetu of that is ajnanam. Therefore, ajnana vinashanam. Ajnanena mugyanti jantavaha. Now that ajnanam is gone. So for vinashat, na jayante is not born again. Na jayante. Therefore, ajnanam is the cause for samsara. Ajnana nashanena samsara nashanam iti. Therefore, muktaha bhavati, jivan eva, ihaiva eva. While the shariram is alive, muktaha bhavati, jivan muktaha bhavati, ityartaha. Om purnamadav purnamidam purnat purnamadachyate purnasya purnamadhaya purnamevavashishyate. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhanyavadah.
धन्यवादः गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद धन्यवाद शरण जी.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಜಿ.
Dhanyavadah.